Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I totally did not want to do this video. I remember asking a couple days ago, does anybody really care about this? But I had so many requests that now that my two informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness world, and I went and watched a couple videos around this so that I could get an idea of what was going on, so that I could make a somewhat educated opinion on this. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Some chick named like Habibi Ali with some company called Evolve Nutrition or some other supplement company who I've never heard of before in my life, have no idea what she does, what she's about, don't really care, not particularly interested. But this Kenny KO guy who I just discussed, was it yesterday, the day before, something like that. Really not familiar with the guy. Checked out a couple of his videos just to see kind of what he was about before I would comment. So I checked it out just a little bit, and everyone's asking me to cover this about her 900-pound wall sit. And at first I was kind of like, okay, so who cares if someone's using fake weights on a lift nobody cares about? Here's what I mean. We have strength and conditioning standards on several big exercises that strength and conditioning coaches use to assess your strength, power, athleticism, things like that, right? We have strength standards. You can test people on a variety of these lifts and get a real good idea of how strong they are relative to their body weight. And for men and women, we've got stuff like bench press, squat, deadlift, the big three in powerlifting, but we also have things like the strict standing press. For those who don't know what that is, that means you stand on your feet, knees locked, no leg drive, you touch your chest, and press it overhead and lock it out. Now, if you only come down to the chin, that doesn't count. No one cares because it's not a relative strength, right? You're comparing relative strength between different people, so they need to do the same exercise, similar ranges of motion, things like that. We also have the power clean, the power snatch. It's easy to find strength and conditioning charts on this so that you can assess person to person and say, hey, is this person really stronger than another across a spectrum of exercises? How explosive are they? How strong is their lower body? How strong is their upper body? And, you can even compare it to their body weight. We've got charts for this stuff, right? We've got charts for this. You don't even have to really do math. You can just compare people. How this person's in this category on this chart. It's all laid out. We don't need silly lifts that no one does to compare it. I mean, because it's like, who cares about a wall sit? It's not a real exercise. Are you going to get stronger doing isometric training up against a wall? No. Maybe if you don't train at all, you might. So it's not a valuable training tool. Isometric strength is garbage training. This has been thrown out for years in the strength and conditioning world. It doesn't help. It doesn't really build much muscle. It doesn't build strength that carries over to any sport. So for pretty much most people's goals, they either want to build muscle, lose fat, or they want to get better at a sport, right? That's usually the reason people exercise or do a lift. Doesn't do any of those things. There's no strength standard for it, so it's not even a real lift. No one cares. No one cares. I've never even heard of it before. All right, let me put it this way. Like Kenny's saying, well, no one's ever heard of anyone doing that much weight that long. No one's ever heard of anyone doing this lift at all. Like, what world are you guys from? I've been in the iron game a couple decades, and I have never once heard about a weighted wall sit. Like, I heard about it for the first time a couple days ago. People asking in my comments. Just kind of like the first time I've heard of this elite chick. I don't know. So Kenny covers it, and here's the thing. He's a channel with, around 50,000 subscribers, about 19, 20 million views. Decent size up-and-coming channel. He's coming along, he's doing his thing, and I guess he called her out, and they flew out to him to prove the weights. Now, he set it up and reweighed the weights because he said it was fake weights, and they stacked it up, gave her a couple chances, and she failed to do it. They couldn't get to the 900 pounds before the weight stack pretty much collapsed on her. Again, the stupidity of such an exercise for people to stack this stuff on someone's lap. Again, you got to wonder, have all the roids destroyed these people's brains? Have they destroyed their brains? Because this is sheer stupidity. All right? That's all there is to describe this. And everyone involved is kind of like, Kenny, you obviously didn't care for that. I know he kind of said in the video, well, I'm the only one who asked if she was okay. And I'll give you that. That was the gentleman thing to do. That's what a man would do. Everyone else there is not a man, clearly. They didn't bother to ask. But by that same token, everyone should have known this was stupid. stupid, and the chance to get hurt doing something silly like this is just ridiculous. And of course, he did say he had concerns about that. So, I'll give credit for that. But none of the other dudes seem to care. Don't care at all. So the whole point is this whole fiasco is absurd, and you got to wonder, how did it get under someone's skin so much at a channel that size? Of 50,000 followers garnered that much attention. Then again, I only had about 30,000 subscribers the first time I got sued. So, maybe people do care about smaller channels. Maybe they do matter. Maybe people care. People get their egos, all of a sudden people get their panties in a bunch over something someone says in the video. And that's kind of the funniest part of the whole fiasco. That's the thing that made me laugh. Because the dude who didn't want his face, had his face covered, didn't want his name in it. I don't know if he was her coach, if he's her boyfriend, if he's her father, her owner, whatever. I don't judge other cultures. I have no idea who the dude was. And he got really upset. Like, he had his panties all in a bunch. Like, I get the impression he's the one who had her come do it, and he was saying, how you going to disrespect me like this? It was kind of starting to get into Kenny's face. Now, Kenny, I'm going to give you a little bit of criticism here. And I understand you live in the People's Republic of California, a place I would never set foot in, other than maybe to invade. Would never set foot in that shithole, to use one of Donald Trump's terms. That's basically what it is. No desire to go there. And I understand you're surrounded by soy boys. But bro, and I mean, here's where already you're getting a little suspect. You seem like a good kid, but you're throwing around this word aesthetics as a supposedly straight young man. All right, straight dudes don't care about aesthetics. That's a totally down low lifestyle thing for bodybuilders and other dudes who are into the whole G4P lifestyle. Like, straight dudes who care about pussy don't care about this. All right, this shouldn't be in your vocabulary. But I understand you live in California around soy boys, so maybe it's a more popular thing there. They don't care about sports. They just want to be pretty. And, I get it. You got the whole metrosexual thing there, gender fluid situation out in your country. And, well, it wants to be a country. They want to have a Cal exit. But, I understand you're surrounded by that. But you kind of let this dude cuck you, bro. That dude, you let him get in your face. You let him get in your face. And call you dog and whatever else he was calling you, like dog. And you got another man call you a dog, and then act like he's all offended and get up in your face. I'm just saying. Hey, bro, I don't know who you are. I think your girl's using fake weights too, and I think doing this exercise is stupid. I'm calling you out for having her do stupid lifts and using fake weights. What are you going to do about it? See how easy that is, Kenny? You don't got to explain yourself to this guy. Well, that's just the way videos are made. No, man, make your videos. Do your thing. Who cares? Care if some dude gets offended? Don't let some dude cuck you. You need to tell him to back up off you. Be like, you need to back up before I bust a cap in your ass. See how easy that is? That's all you got to do. Don't let some dude get in your face and cuck you about how you disrespected him. No one knows who. He didn't even have his name in it. No one knows who he is. He's a nameless, faceless dude. You can't disrespect somebody who chooses not to exist. I think you should have gone ahead and just put his name and face in the video. That's what I would have done. Who cares? Why do you care what this guy thinks? But that's the interesting thing, is that people get so upset. They're going to go all the way out to you to prove this, and then it turns out she can't even do it. So it was a wasted effort. They look silly. I can't really find out much else about this person because it looks like her social media, she blocked it or removed it or took it down temporarily and stuff. So you can't even find out much of anything about her other than she's involved with some sort of paleo and primal eating meal plan, or I guess they eat an all-meat diet or something with evolved nutrition. Who knows? All I know is if you're going to try to prove that you're stronger than people, we have strength standards in place. All right, there are competitions where you can do most of these exercises in competitive environments with calibrated plates, right? You could go to a powerlifting meet. You could go to a deadlift only meet. You got bench press only powerlifting. You have strength lifting where they now have the strict press involved and it's judged. The starting strength guys. So you got 4 of the big lifts right there. You could go to an Olympic lifting meet and at least you can see what you snatch. And of course, since you clean and push press, you can see how much you could power clean. All right, you could do all 6 of the lifts in a competitive environment with calibrated plates if you want to show off your strength, people, with judges watching so that you can have a legitimate assessment of did your plates weigh, did you perform the lift correctly so that you can show how strong that you are. People showing off with gym lifts and oddball movements and all this silly crap doesn't prove anything because it's not judged. And even what you did there, it doesn't matter because you didn't use calibrated plates. You didn't show us the calibration on the plates. They weren't certified. The other people didn't check off on it, and you didn't have an independent party weigh the plates. It still doesn't count. Doesn't count. Guys, that's why we have strength sports, so that you can legitimately prove how strong that you are. These sports exist for a reason. Everything else is just masturbation and show off. And people doing oddball exercises, no one cares. It doesn't matter. Because it's not a lift with standards in place, not a lift that can be judged, and you're not using calibrated plates in a controlled environment where you can't cheat. All right? It's that simple. Nobody cares. But it is funny how offended the other dude got. And then didn't want his name or face put in the video, and he acted all like a bitch and everything. That's funny right there. You know, why do you care that some dude with 50,000 followers makes a video discussing your girl's fake lift? It obviously, she couldn't do the lift. All right, it's that simple. And it's not even a lift. So it's something no one has ever heard of. She's probably the only person on earth doing it. Never heard of this before. No one cares. Get over yourselves. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.